Rip Nip. Some will say he died because he was a Crip. In the street business he refused to nip in the bud. He was still hanging with his cuz, banging against Blood's black gloves, showing no love just because the color was red. And those who live by the gun in the hood themselves often end up dead. Some will say he died for being involved with Dr. Sebi, who was teaching the world the pharmaceutical world is deceiving us and leaving us addicted to prescription drugs when the healing comes from herbs and grubs and plant-based diets and mental wellness, and the documentary would have cost the healthcare trillions and exposed them. So Nipsey was a threat and therefore had to be eradicated. The government, just like Dr. Sebi. Some will say he died because the streets was player hating on a successful brother advocating how to make it and didn't want to savor the message of unity and investing in the black community, and Nip was never given immunity for being black in the hood. His message of self-love was never fully understood, and why was a millionaire brother in such a bad neighborhood trying to change the people that he never could. Some will say he died for being in the wrong place at the wrong time, for trying to help a brother who just did 20 years worth of time, and the killer was plotting because Nip wouldn't do a song with him. So he waited for him, and when he saw Slim, he argued with them about this and about that, and Nipsey would be alive right now, but he called Cuz a rat, and Cuz went for the gat and came back with the clap, and within seconds, Nipsey was gone. And a finger snap, or should I say a finger pull, left swimming for his life as the blood from his own body pooled. Some will say it simply was his time, for he was divine, and angels cannot live into their prime, for he seen the light, so his body had to take flight out of earth, for he was too good and his worth was heavenly. And great souls never lived to be 70. In the 30s is when Martin and Malcolm died, so homicide was pre-written on Aramin's lives, so we really shouldn't cry, because it was meant for him to die. And now he has a street named after him, and his rivals marched arms locked in, willing to confess their sin of hatred for other sets of brethren. So all the gangs came together to repent, so his death was not in vain. It set a truce precedent. In fact, he was even written a letter by our own black president. Some will say the cat just wanted fame, and he wanted a name. Yes, he had a famous name of the first black attorney general, but he wanted the name of a street general, the ultimate legend of a street criminal who killed an individual who let his guard down. And he was easy to get to, no bodyguards to attend to, no one watching from the rear view, and Nip was vulnerable as a wolf in a pigeon coop. This is simply what killers do. They're lions who pray to finish you. They want recognition from syndicates and critics too, and their lives don't matter much until that gun bust and the blood gush. They get a rush from their own personal anguish, and it was never going to be a peaceful discussion. He was coming to cause a fatal concussion. He was a fiery engine, looking for combustion, looking for confrontation, patiently waiting for the favor to kill his own neighbor. He could never be trusted. He sought bloodshed. He carried that gun around knowing by nightfall another black man would be dead. And he never cared to be called a rat. He knew even if Nip would have said, yo, dog, you getting fat, or bruh, you really can't rap, he still would have made him a murder stat. Because some people get joy out of killing. Look at the husbands who killed their wives, the dog, and the children. You think the kid had to die? No. But often they say they did it and they don't even know why. They can't even cry and make sense of this whole anger thing. They never even try. And you can look into the eye and see the window to our soul. Who can justify killing Nipsey? Let's be honest. Just like trying to justify killing a kid under 12 years old. Yet it happens daily. We need more strong leaders who tell a story at the root of the anger, like Alex Haley. So the real reason why Nipsey was killed was the same reason why everyone else is killed in the streets of America. Because the killer is never held accountable for the deed of having a bad spirit. We only deal with the physical body with punishment. Killers are the face of Satan. Their spirits were compromised and possessed by the devil to carry out evil. Killing people will never be equal. It will never be justified in God's eyes. Stop trying to put a human answer on a spiritual question. We keep teaching the wrong lesson. We need to really address the action. Criminal justice, bruh, that's just a reaction. The real action is spiritual compromise. Look into the eyes of the killer and call out Satan. Make the killer watch the autopsy, the incision. Make the killer sit cuffed to a table watching the mortician when they make the decision on the hairstyle, the color of the dress or the suit. And ask the killer, do they approve? Make them dig their victim's grave. And once convicted if guilty, make them build their own cave. make their souls slave. Killers should live with killers with no guards or supervision, especially those who kill our strongest leaders like Nipsey, and women, and definitely for those who kill children. Stop catering to the body and address the spirit. We gotta find a secret to preventing the next Nipsey Hussle murder. The blame game never changed, but the deed remains the same. We only think Aramin's death was under different circumstances because of his famous name. Rest in peace, Nip.